Kim's over here dying because she cannot. She can't narrow it down to 10.
I'm trying.
It's hard. There were so many games that have came out this year that we've played this year. It's really hard just to narrow it down.
It's like 10. At the end, you should do like a running credits of like all the new.
It'd be like
the ones that we have played, because I have been keeping a log of all the new to me games that I've done this year.
See,
and have a list.
yeah, maybe we should do something like that, because I mean, I could go through and I could see if I'm really bad about keeping
and then rank them.
Rank them. I know. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel today. My name is Carly.
And I'm Kim.
And today, well, we're kind of doing a lot of videos today. So I don't know when this one's gonna come out in the timeline, but the video that we're working on right now, or that we're doing right now, is our top 10 new to us games that we played in 2024.
Yep.
It's no secret, I still consider myself relatively new into the hobby, and there's so many games that have come out in past years that are fantastic, amazing, that I'm still kind of trying to work through, trying to play. And so we do that throughout our years. And so when kind of towards the end of this year, I was like, you know what? I kind of just want to talk about our favorite games that we played this year, all inclusive, right? This list isn't just games that have been released from 2024. These are just games, all the games, out of all the games I played this year, what are the ones that stood out to me, right? What are the new ones that I've been introduced to that really stuck with me? And I know Kim, I mean, we're always learning new games, always getting those games that have been on our list forever that we finally get and we play and we just love. So we're just going to talk about the games we played this year and what our top 10 were. You had a really hard time narrowing it down to 10.
I have like 12 on the list, so I'm like,
I had a really hard time, and I kind of cheated on one of mine is a slight cheat. But I did also kind of want to mention that at the time of filming this video, we're about halfway through November. We have a lot of games that we're currently trying to work through. One of them, actually two of them, are actually sitting over in the corner that I'm like, I have a feeling those might be added to this list. So we have yet to finish out 2024. This isn't 2024 all-inclusive, but the reason why... Pretty close. The reason why I wanted to do these series, because technically we could have waited until January to do this, but the reason why I wanted to get these handful of videos out that we're doing for the end of the year of 2024 is because it is right before Christmas time. I know lots of people are trying to kind of think of games to get for Christmas or for those gamers in their life, and so I kind of wanted to put this out before then so that you could kind of get our recommendations and games that we've loved this year.
10 out of 10 recommend all of these games.
Absolutely. Yes, 10 out of 10 recommend all of these games for the gamers in your life. And yeah, maybe we'll come up with a follow-up video for it, because I know there's going to be games, I'm like looking at them right now, that I'm assuming are going to be added to this list. So having said all that, let's go ahead and jump into our top 10 games that we played this year. Before we jump into this list, we're going to hear a quick word from the sponsor of this video. Today's video is brought to you by the board game Barrister. They're a friendly local game store based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin that goes above and beyond to connect with their community and make tabletop gaming approachable for everyone. They have an incredible selection of games for every type of gamer, from family classics to new and exciting indie titles. In fact, they even carry some of the games we're going to be discussing in this video, plus tons more. They do have an online storefront and offer nationwide shipping, so if you want to explore what the board game Barrister has in stock and help support a small business, make sure to click the link in the description below. Now let's jump back to the video.
So I cheated on this list because, like I said, I couldn't. So
it's okay.
It's together, but that's just more,
we make the rules here. You guys can deal with it.
More for you guys to like research and be like, oh yeah, okay. And one of those games was a game that Carly was not a huge fan of the theme, so she gifted it to me, and I was obsessed with it. And that was Mindspace.
I knew the moment you said Carly wasn't a huge fan of the theme, I was like, yep, I bet I know what it is.
I loved this game. This game went backpacking with me this year. This game went to Switzerland and Germany with me. There's just something about it that just like really satisfies like an itch
your brain
in my brain. Yeah.
You're flipping over cards, and you're trying to fill in colors and
flipping right,
and you're trying to fill in your little brain, and there's like restrictions on where you can place stuff,
puzzle it together, and there's different strategies that you can go for. It's like simple, but it's just I love this game. And then my other one that I tied with it was Far Away, which is another game. They both like just scratch something in my brain that
Faraway
is like so satisfying. Plays quickly. It's fun.
It's such a simple thing. You can score backwards.
Yep.
And the first time you play, you're like, hey, this doesn't make any sense. And then at the end, you're like, oh, I got it. Okay. And it's just so fun.
And for me, it's so fun to be able to like, the descriptions in the game when it talks about the mechanics, it says that it's not push your luck. It says that it's set collection and open card, like drafting. But I think there's a little bit of a push your luck element because you're playing down your card and you're like, okay, hopefully I'm going to be able to get those icons that I need, and we'll see if I end up getting them. Yep. And I like that element of, oh, am I going to meet my goal? Am I going to do it? Is it going to happen for me? Yep. Those are my number 10 spots.
Nice. So my number 10 is probably the newest one to me on this list, but I loved it so much, I had to include it on this list. This is Fromage. So in Fromage, you are cheesemakers and you're competing to run the most prosperous creamery in France. Something about this gameplay, the fact that you place out your workers and you cannot recall them until they're facing you, is like brilliant to me. Something about it is brilliant. And so you inherently, where you place, you know exactly how many turns it's going to take
to get
them back and to use place like the most expensive cheeses or to get the most. Well, it's gonna cost you in time. So is it really worth that? I just love this game. It really took me by surprise. I thought I was gonna like it. I was not expecting to like it as much as I actually did.
I thought this was gonna be higher on your list.
No, so it's 10 because this is the newest one. So I was like, I don't really want to like put it up to 1 considering I've only played it a handful of times. But I just keep thinking about this game and I just keep wanting to play it, and it just feels different, it feels unique, it feels fun, and then it's all simultaneous action, so you're not waiting for everybody to go around. It's just make your move, boom, make your move, done, make your move, done. Like there's no downtime. It's just fantastic. I love it. Number 9.
All right, my number 9 was, I mentioned this in one of our other videos. It's the one where you are a creature or a faction and you're battling off the robots.
Oh, Defenders of the Wild.
Defenders of the Wild, yes. Every time that we did play this, it was so fun. And then like when I played it with my family, like it was just, we all just loved it. It was just, it like created a really fun, memorable board game night for our family. Like we just all liked it. My husband was obsessed with it, and it's hard to get him to be as excited about games as I am, so that fact alone just made it like yay. And like my boys liked it. They both really like cooperative games, and so it was just really fun. And it's definitely one of my favorite plays of the year.
My number 9 is my cheat.
Okay.
I think my cheat is justified, okay? So my number 9 is Dwellings of Eldervale and then also Andromeda's Edge.
Okay,
so
there you go.
I think I'm justified because they are very similar games. Andromeda's Edge is basically like a Big Brother type of game. Two Dwellings of Eldervale. So the reason why I have them on the same scale is because I played both of these games for the first time this year, and I can't tell which one I like more. And I know Tim, like for Tim, it's Andromeda's Edge. Like that's his favorite. For me, I don't know. I love them, and I love the gameplay. I love what you're doing. I do think that some things in Andromeda's Edge, it does inherently do better than Dwellings of Eldervale. But I love the theming in Dwellings of Eldervale, how you have these monsters and you're calling on like different powers, and so I can't tell which one I like more, but overall I love both of these games. I think the biggest thing that this game has going for it is that drawback mechanism. So it is inherently kind of like a worker placement game.
I don't want any more.
Oh, okay, perfect. It's a worker placement game where you are placing out workers on the board to do stuff, but then once all your workers are out, instead of like most games just do like a normal callback, right? You just take basically a rest action, recall your workers, and then wait for the next round. Well, in this game, you recall your workers one by one, and when you recall them, you have a tableau that you can place those workers on to activate. So your recall action is almost even more fun than placing out your workers. And so that's my favorite. I just love that mechanism. The game does it does it so well. And I have them both at the same spot because I don't know which one I like more. I like certain aspects of Andromeda's Edge, and I like certain aspects of Dwellings more. So honestly, I just need to play them more to figure out which one I like more. But overall, both of these games are fantastic.
My next one is the other one that I cheated on. After this, there's no more cheats. So I just couldn't decide. These are both app-based games. They're both, no, they're not both cooperative. One is cooperative, one is not. And that is Freelancers, and then the Witchwood expansion for Destinies. They both were just so much fun.
Is Witchwood a standalone, or do you need the base game?
You need the base game for it, yeah. So you have all the expansions for it, but Witchwood is definitely our favorite one. In Destinies, you are you have a character that you're playing as, and you have a destiny or quest that you're trying to fulfill, and it gives you 2 different options that you can choose to work on. And you get to go around, and you have like a map that you get to explore, and different locations that you get to figure things out about, and the app kind of directs you, and you can say, I want to do this, and then it gives you information. In Witchwood specifically, the thing that I think is so fun about it is that there are like these paths that connect you to the tiles, instead of just being like, oh, I'm gonna go to this connecting space. Sometimes you have to like go onto a path. You're like, and the path, when you're on that path, you get to say, okay, yes, I'm gonna follow this weird bird that I saw flying away, or no, I'm going to keep going, or yes, I'm going to choose to talk to this person that I see. You can get like lost in the path, and it's just it's so fun. And then Freelancers is another cooperative app-based game that if you want like a good campaign game, but that is like easy to dive into and is also super entertaining and can play like a large group of people, Freelancers is definitely the way to go. And it has a standalone option that you can play as well. So like if you're just having a game night and you want something that
I love that it has that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that feels lighthearted but like fun, and you get to make choices, and you kind of get to make fun of each other. It's very like kind of Adventure Time-esque feel to it, and definitely different parts of it made us laugh, and like it made for like super fun, but I didn't have to like use my brain too much.
I think that's a good cheat because they're similar.
One is cooperative, and then the other is like you're doing your own mission. So,
yes. Perfect. I think it's justified. My number 8 is one that really took me by surprise. Oh, so much so that the publisher was like, can we send you this game? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm okay. And they're like, no, we'll send it to you. I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm so good.
What is that? I took a look at the board and I was like, that gives me anxiety. Like, no. And they're like, no, like we'd like you, like we're sending it anyways. You never know, you might like it. I'm so glad they sent it because honestly, I am obsessed with this game. This is Arborea. So in Arborea, I don't even know how to describe it. It is a worker placement like track game where you have your little workers and you place them on tracks, and then every single at the end of your round or at the end of your turn, those tracks move. And then at any point, whenever those tracks are moving, you can choose to move your little worker off. And when you hop off, then you move your worker all the way through that particular path that you land on, and you collect all those things. Then at the end of the path, that little worker is returned back to your board. And you are doing all of this to try to attract creatures or try to build out your little sanctuary or complete certain objectives. And it is just fascinating the way that all the tracks are moving, and you're trying to maximize, like, do you hop off right at the beginning to quickly gain a couple points, or do you wait all the way for that track to go to the end to get the most that you possibly can from that track? Just that timing element was just so good. Yeah. So good in the game.
I agree.
I love it. So, all right, your number 7.
All right, my number 7 is one that I added to my collection at the end of last year. but finally was able to play it this year. And it's one that I've been like dying to play. You already know what it is. You're right. I've been dying to play it based off of the theme and the mechanics and the spookiness of it, and that is Nemesis, and specifically Nemesis Lockdown. This was
on my short list.
Yeah, this game was so good. Like it took a while to learn, like, and read through the rules, but once you actually get to playing it, it's actually pretty straightforward. So one of the things that like is just so happy is that when you explore a new tile and you flip it over, it tells you how many items are in that room that you get to search.
So much.
And so when you take one of the items, you just rotate it, and then it tells you that there's just a couple left. And it's just like, and there's parts where the power is on in certain parts of the ship, and then it's off in others, and what happens with like if the power is on, then like whether the monsters stay or whether they go.
I think there's a little bit of a barrier to entry in regards to the rule book.
Yes, I would agree.
Which I personally didn't read through, but I know you mentioned it, and then also Trevor mentioned that the rule book was a little bit of a beast.
Yeah, it took us a long time to learn.
Yeah.
But
so that's the only thing to kind of be aware of, I guess, of this game. But it does play fantastic, and I think it's worth it. Yeah,
who's already played it and can teach it to you, rather than being like us and trying to dive in without knowing much about it.
We're going from something like super scary to something super cute and fun. River Valley Glassworks is honestly one of my favorite games I played this year. I love this game. I don't know why, because like it's a very simple game, but something about it is like addicting to me, and I just want to keep playing it. Like I love it. Some people don't like this game, or they think it's too simple, which I can see that. But for me, like I prefer this over Azul, and a lot of people kind of compare the two. I think they are very different in gameplay, but they're similar on like thinkiness level to me. I just think this one is fun. I like the puzzle of when you place glass, the tile that you place glass on, then you can collect glass, but only from the two adjacent spots. So it's just a kind of fun little puzzle. Kind of like fits that spot in my collection of like beginning of the night game or end of the night game. I wouldn't necessarily bring this out as like the game for game night, but it's like a really good like filler kind of category for me. It gives me like peaceful vibes. It's just fun to kind of place your glass and just try to build out your shop as best you can. I really enjoyed this game.
My number 6 is a tile placement game where you get to build, you're building reefs and bringing animals into your reef. And
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And that is Aqua. I mean, I liked this game, but then the more like I dove into it, then I like became obsessed with it.
Yes.
And it's been one that has been easy for me to teach to people, and everyone that I've taught it to has enjoyed it. In fact, one of my really good friends is borrowing it right now, and she says that they're playing it like every weekend. She hasn't given it back to me yet. She's like, I'm gonna have to get it for Christmas. I just love it. I don't know, there's just something about it.
I love how in this game you are really incentivized to stack. And because some tile games does have that stacking mechanism, but you're not as incentivized as you are in this game.
And it's like relaxing, but then there's also a little bit more thinkiness than you realize, especially in terms of getting those like bigger animal shapes.
Yeah, that was a good one. Good choice. Good choice. My number 6 is a game that I have been dying and eyeing to get for a very long time. It's been described to me as Zombicide on steroids. And when I played it for the very first time, I was like, yes, this is Zombicide on steroids. Basically real-time Zombicide. And this game is Project Elite. You have this board in front of you where aliens and like basically this alien horde that's coming after you. And you set a 2-minute timer and you hit go, and everybody around the table is simultaneously rolling dice and trying to complete these objectives while the aliens are coming. So when you're rolling dice, you will take some dice and you will load up your guns to like shoot the aliens. Sometimes you roll a dice and it triggers an alien movement. So you have to move one of the aliens. So all this is happening. Everybody's rolling dice, loading up their guns. Aliens are coming, and you do this constantly for 2 minutes. And then once the timer goes off, then everybody stops. You kind of reevaluate what the board is looking like, respawn new aliens. And then you basically set another timer and go again. And you have 8 rounds to complete these objectives and get back to the base camp. And it's just so much fun because I love that real-time element because it is chaos. Like everybody's just like rolling dice, the aliens are coming, you're trying to shoot. It is everything that I expected it to be. It is so much fun and I just want to keep playing this game. I love it so much. I know, I'm gonna bring it for game night. It's just chaos and just so much fun.
Good chaos.
Good chaos. Good chaos.
My number 5 is another aquatic themed game. And that is Aquatica.
Okay, I forgot you played it for the first time this year.
I hadn't played it before. And
so good.
Carly was able to teach it to me with the expansions. It's so unique.
Like you're like pushing your cards and
I loved, like I don't know what else to say except for just that I loved it. I had a really fun time with it. And that's one that I keep thinking about. I want to return, it's okay. The best way that I can think about it is after I played 7 Wonders for the first time, that was one that like I wanted to play again and again and again. That's how I feel about this one. I haven't played this enough. I need to play it more. I need to know everything that it has to offer me. I need to dive into it.
Aquatica is fantastic. It's on my top games of all time. It's so good. So my number 5 is Dune War for Arrakis. I love 2-player head-to-head games, and it's kind of harder to find good 2-player head-to-head area control games. And this one was just perfect, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. It feels like a huge, massive game. You feel like you're stepping into the movie. One player is playing as the Harkonnen side, the other player is playing as the Atreides and like the Fremen side. It feels just like a big, epic War of the Ring type of game. Have the massive sandworms that come up, and if you're playing as the Fremen, you actually can control the sandworms to like slide through the desert and eat your other opponent. Like it's just fantastic. I cannot recommend this game enough. If you like area control games, definitely check this one out.
My number 4 is one that I kickstarted this year. It was the first one that I got in the mail for kickstarting, and that is Wondrous Creatures.
This one is on my short list.
Yes, I loved this game. Artwork and the unique meeples are just so fun and cute.
My favorite part of the game is how you have your where you place and then everything adjacent activates. Where your placement is just so important in the game. That was just so fun to compete over that, and if you see somebody place, you're like, oh, I really needed that.
I wanted to go there.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like about it is when you are placing, it's not like you can pick to gain the resource that is there, or you can choose to get that type of card and add it to your hand instead. And then you have these little nets that you get that can use, so you can scoop up some of them have special powers that you can scoop up the extra resource if you need it, or the ability, activate the ability of that place, and then you're collecting trophies and just the creatures in it.
And how you're competing for those goals, and if somebody gets it before you, it's then you lose out. It's
really good. I've
good.
loved it. I'm definitely no regrets about backing it. It's probably out of the ones I've ended up backing, that's the one that I think has brought me the most joy.
My number 4 is Moonrakers.
This was on my short list.
I truly think this is my favorite Ivy Studio game. I don't know. It's so hard now because now it's Tend and Brink. I'm just I don't know. But I am obsessed with Moonrakers. Going out into space, trying to complete tasks. And I love the way that you do actually complete them is you have cards and you are laying out your cards in a flow formation. How would you describe that? I like how you are trying to negotiate and trying to work with other people around the table, but you don't want to work with them too closely because you don't want them to get too many points. So you're always kind of negotiating, being like, hey, if you help me fulfill this contract, I'll give you this if you help me do that. It adds for good tabletop. It's got a really great table presence. I love the look of the game.
Yes.
It's just so good. It really is. It's so good.
This was one of my favorite group board game night plays of the year.
Yeah.
That's why as a group, I don't know, I think it's a phenomenal game. as an individual, I like these other ones weighed out a little bit more for me. But playing it with other people for board game night, this was definitely one of my favorite plays. So my number 3 was already mentioned.
Really?
Yes, you already said it.
Well, I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay, and it is a charming cheese-based game, and that is Fromage. Like, we literally only played it like a week ago, but I'm already
I like can't stop
upset.
thinking about it.
I know! It's so good! I
don't want to talk it up too much in case some people hate it, but I genuinely just love it.
I loved it too. Obviously, I loved it so much that it's in my top 3 plays of the year. Like, I'm already looking into how I can add it to my own collection because I need it.
It's so good.
Carly already explained it pretty well, but just know that
be on the lookout for it when you can get it.
I just adored it.
Yep.
I loved it.
Yep.
So good.
So good. So I love tile placement games, and I'm always on the lookout for new tile placement games, and this one came out actually this year, and at first I wasn't super interested in trying it, and then I did, and I was like, I'm so glad I tried this game because it actually has replaced almost all other tile placement games for me, and this is Harmonies. So in Harmonies, you are creating your own landscape and habitats to welcome animals. I think the reason why I like this game so much is because it does have that building element of you are stacking and building tiles, but you're also stacking and building your patterns, which I just loved. At the top of the board, there are animal cards that in order to attract that animal to your habitat, you need to have that specific configuration of tiles. The tree from your jaguar's pattern to help fulfill the bear from your other pattern. And so it's very thinky in regards to layering all these patterns and layering your tiles in such a way to try to maximize the amount of points that you can. Like you said, it scratches that itch for me. It has the perfect amount of thinkiness and crunchiness to a game that is really simple to explain. This game has honestly replaced Cascadia for me. It's replaced a lot of these other ones. This is my new favorite tile placement game.
I need to play this one again.
It's so good. I love it.
Number 2 has also already been said by Carly.
Oh my goodness.
And that one is Arborea.
Arborea.
I
thought this would be your number 1.
Well, it almost was. The reason why it's not is because I can't get Jordan to play
with me.
Yeah. So
it's okay, you can play with me.
Yes, I'll play with you. I know other people don't like the board, but I'm obsessed with it. I love everything about it. It's so fun. I love the different things that I get to do. I'm going to put it on my shelf with all of my favorite creature artwork because I'm obsessed with the cover. Like when Carly got it and she was like, I don't know about it. I just looked at it. I was like, yes. I don't know. It just makes me happy. And
it looks like a Kim game. Everything about this looks like you.
and then the playing it was just even better. It was just such a fun, wonderful experience. That one's my number 2.
So my number 2, it's almost sad. Well, it's not sad. This is a great game. I'm cracking up that this is my number 2. But literally, if you have a family and you play lots of, just little card games, I think this is a game that needs to be in everybody's household. I'll put it that way.
Stocking stuffer this year.
Yeah, stocking stuffer. And this is Trio. So Trio was originally a game that was only available in Japan. It was called Nana, and Happy Camper Games was able to bring it over to America, kind of retheme it, and so now it's themed and as Trio. That's the new name of it, is Trio. And this is just a truly fantastic game where you have cards in your hand and you're asking people to reveal either their highest or your lowest, or you can reveal either your highest or lowest. And whenever you find the trio or the 3 cards of that has that particular number on it, then you claim that, and you have to find three sets basically in order to win. Sounds so simple, and it is so simple. It's very simple to play, but it is so much fun. It is such a fun game. We play it all of the time. This has probably been our most played game from this year, is Trio. My kids love it. We play it all the time. It is such an approachable game for families. Like I said, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think Trio truly needs to be in everybody's house. This needs to replace Uno, Go Fish, all those other ones. Get Trio. You will not be disappointed. It's our number 1,
it's
the same.
Sorry, I just looked over and saw. So, you ready for it?
Yeah, ready? Blood Rage.
This game was introduced to us by our board game friend,
Mark. Shout out to you, Mark. You're the real MVP.
Yep. Thank you for introducing it to us. He had talked about, we need to play this game. We need to play this game. And finally one night we're like, okay, yeah, let's do
it.
So glad that we did, because it is just so good.
Fantastic. Literally one of the best area control games I've ever played.
Yeah, it doesn't make me nervous.
Yeah, and for Kim, who doesn't like area control games, for the fact that she likes it this much should tell you something. Like, if you don't like area control games, I don't necessarily think you should be scared of this one, because it does feel different than a typical area control game, and there's a lot about it that makes it feel not quite as punishing as some other ones.
Card drafting, the gradual like build up of each, how you get stronger with each phase, but although you're getting stronger with each phase, the board is becoming more limited and things are blowing up, and it's just, I don't know, it's so good.
It is so good.
I feel like it's relatively easy to teach to people, and you just have a fun time with it.
One of my favorite parts is the draft that happens at the beginning of every round, that you are drafting the cards that you want to use, and it's interesting because some of the cards are linked inherently with certain gods. And so if you take one of those god cards and continue to take cards for that round that has that god's title in it, well, then that kind of, all those cards kind of sync and will work well together. So it kind of gives you a strategy to hone in on for that round, which I really liked that.
It's so
fun. If you have not tried it, highly recommend. It's both of our favorite game. For both of us, it is our favorite game, new to us game that we played this year. It is fantastic.
I think we've talked about it quite a bit.
I think we have, but it's just that good.
It is well deserved in the #1 spot, and I want to play it now.
Right now. Let's actually do it right now. All right, so that rounds out our top 10 games that we played in 2024. Please comment down below what your personal favorite game or new to you game that you played this year. There are just so many games.
We got to do our Christmas shopping.
I know, we got to do our Christmas shopping. So let us know what games we should be on the lookout for. I also wanted to quickly mention that we are doing this video and then a couple others at the end of this year. So if you haven't seen those other ones, I think I'm going to be posting them all around the same time. So make sure to kind of hop over and check out the other lists that we're doing to kind of close out 2024. Thank you so much for watching this video today and hanging out with us. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, it means so much if you could do that. It really helps support us in everything that we're doing over here. But until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later. I literally want to play Blood Rage right now.
I know, me too.
Like, right now.
I'm like, okay, let's do it. Come on over. Let's play.
It's so good.